Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the symptoms of good mental health. As a teacher, you are expected to identify the students whether they are having the sound mental health or not. So there are certain symptoms from which you will come to know whether the student have a good mental health or they do not have a good mental, that is poor mental health and good mental health. First let us see the symptoms of good mental health. So, a mentally healthy individual can be easily distinguished from others by the way he is living, his behavior, and his personality characteristics. And some of the features are knows himself well. So, the person having a good mental health, he knows himself very well. That means he is in a position to evaluate his strengths and weaknesses. So he knows what are his strengths and what are his weaknesses. And accordingly, he will choose a task which is according to his ability. So he will never go for a task which is either too difficult or too easy. So this is it when that the person knows his strengths and weaknesses. उसे अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स और अपनी वीकनेसेस के बारे में पता है और उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए ही वो कोई भी टास्क जो है वो सिलेक्ट करता है. सो ना तो वो बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट टास्क को चूज़ करेगा, ना ही बहुत ही ईजी टास्क को चूज़ करेगा. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ he has the ability to make adjustment. So whatever circumstances he faces or whatever situations he is being facing, he has that ability to make adjustment. So whenever he is going to new circumstances or new situations, he will adjust. Just like you people who are coming to the hostels by leaving the comfortable place of your house. So if you are good mental health or you are mentally healthy person, then you can adjust with it. That now you know that yes, you have to stay in the hostel for your better education. So you will adjust with these changing circumstances. Emotionally stable. The person having good mental health is emotionally mature and stable, and he can express his emotions in a desirable way. So whenever he has to show the happiness, he can express his happiness. Whenever he is sad, he can express his sadness. So he is having an exercise, he can exercise proper control over his emotions. So the people having good mental health has the proper control over his emotions. Next is socially adjustable. Similarly, just like emotionally mature person, these people are also socially adjustable, and they possess the ability to get along with himself and others. So these people, they will have a good social group. They know how to deal in group, they know how to make friends, and they know how to adjust in a social group. They have developed intellectual powers. So the intellectual powers of the mentally healthy person are adequate. They can think independently and they can take proper decision at the proper time. So they do not depend upon others to take their decisions, but they are intellectually strong and they can take their decisions on their own and have a ability to think independently. Always lives in reality. So these people, they are away from fantasy. So they do not live in the imaginary world, but they know the reality. They know the world properly and they always live in reality. सच्चाई के साथ वो जीते हैं, वो जो है unnecessary fantasy या imagination की दुनिया में नहीं जीते. Have courage and power of tolerance. So they possess enough courage and power of tolerance for facing failures in his life. So even if they are facing some kind of failure, so they will not go and commit suicide or they will not go in depression. They know that okay, I need to accept it. So they have a good courage to accept their failures, and they never repent and worry over the failures and mistakes. So they think that okay, failure has happened, they are unsuccessful, but they have to move forward. So they learn from their success, their failures, they learn from their mistakes, and they have the courage to accept their failures and move ahead. They feel safe and secure. So these people who are having good mental health feels quite safe and secure in their respective groups and environment. They like others and they are also liked by them. So they possess adequate sense of belonging and loyalty towards the group where he belongs. Okay. So they are safe and secure in whatever group they are there, and not only they are accepting others, but even they are also accepted by others in the group. They are not at all extremist. So these people, though they try to accomplish their work as nicely as possible, yet they do not prove to be an extremist. They do not try to be very perfectionist, that we are the perfectionist. No, they accept this, that nobody can be perfectionist. But they try to accomplish the task which is given to them to the best of their ability. Free from undesirable mental disturbances. So they are free from disorders, they are free from some conflicts, they are free from anxieties, frustrations, ailments, and diseases. So these are the characteristics of a good, having a good mental health. Possesses desirable social and health habit. So they possess desirable social and health habits. They are regular and punctual in performing their duties and does not suffer from forgetfulness. So they do not forget. So they are very clear about their duties and they do their duties at a right time. They are self-confident and optimist. So they do not exhibit any undue fear or any undue anxiety for any task which is given to them. So they know whatever new task will come to them, they can do it confidently. So they are very positive, they are very optimistic, and they are having the self-confidence that yes, they can do the task independently. Possesses advocate philosophy of life. So they have the philosophy of life which is governing their conduct and activities. So it is not that they are living the life for the sake of living. No, they do have some kind of philosophy which is guiding their life, which is guiding their conduct. They possess socially desirable healthy interests and aptitudes. So these people, they have socially desirable interest. So that means something which is socially desirable, that is speaking truth, helping others. So this type of desirable healthy interests and aptitudes are possessed by the mentally healthy person. They lead a well-balanced life of work, well-balanced life of rest and recreation. So they live a balanced life. They will have the rest also, they will have recreation also, and they are satisfied with their profession or occupation. So they normally do not complain regarding their profession or occupation. They accept everything. So these are some of the essential or necessary conditions which are needed for maintenance of a good mental health. And when these are absent, then it may lead to negation of mental health. So similarly, we also have certain symptoms of poor mental health. So just as we can identify a person having a good mental health, we can also identify a person having a poor mental health. So here also we can make a list of all the opposite negative features and characteristics of one's behavior and personality characteristics which are in contradiction to whatever we have seen in the good mental health. So the opposite of the characteristics which are there in good mental health will lead to are for the poor mental health. So just as we had seen that the person having good mental health are emotionally stable, socially stable. So here we will find that these people are emotionally unstable and they get easily upset. They are apprehensive, they are suspicious, and they are insecure. They are self-critical. They do not have confidence in themselves, so they are criticizing themselves, and they're always empowered with the feeling of guilt, that why I am in this world, I am not able to do anything. So we will find these type of characteristics in them. They lack self-confidence, they lack the willpower, they do not want to do anything, and even they lack in adjustment. They are having no adequate adjustment with the self. Neither they are able to adjust with the environment, be it a physical environment, social environment, or professional environment. They are not able to set the correct aspiration level for themselves, because they are not clear about their strengths and weaknesses. They do not know about themselves, so they also fail in setting the proper level of aspiration for themselves. They suffer from frustrations, unresolved conflicts, and they are always full of strains and stresses. They lack enduring power and tolerance. They are not able to tolerate. They are not able to take up their failure in a right spirit. They lack in decision making ability. They have poor self concept and achievement motivation, and they have an unrealistic attitude towards life and people. So, as we had seen, that the people having a good mental health are having a positive attitude towards other people, and they are having a realistic reality check on themselves. So these people, they suffer from mental disturbances, disorders, ailments and diseases, and are always dissatisfied with the achievements, and always they are trying to seek perfection in his or her other's work. As we have seen that the people having good mental health are not extremists. They do not look for perfectionist. They will always work with whatever ability they have. But people having poor mental health, they are seeking for the perfection, and they are not happy with the work. So they will always try to seek perfection in their own work as well as in others' work. And they live in his own world of imagination and fantasy. So they are away from the reality, and they are always in the world of fantasy and imagination. So these were the symptoms of the good mental health person and the poor mental health